Heleri Rande Puccini Group. I am head of development for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We create restaurant concepts to interior design and help with operations for luxury hotel chains for food and beverage. So currently we have a lot of interest in advising on how to make F&B operations better, how to reconcept restaurants, because every big chain in the world is now focusing so much on F&B because they've understood that it's a massive revenue generator, and they should really look at it from a strategic perspective as opposed to just having an extension of the hotel to serve people breakfast. And we see more and more of this happening all around the world where hotel chains are calling us to ask us what can we do, how can we improve, how can we concept to actually bring in the locals and not only cater for the hotel guests, because the key really is to get the locals to come to your restaurants so that then the hotel guests see like, oh, this is a buzzing place, we should maybe also eat here. So it's kind of this whole trend of looking at it from a strategic as opposed to just an emotional perspective or just a necessity to serve breakfast. Well, I think the challenge is really keeping up with some of the trends, because trends have a way of coming and going. And the question we get a lot is how can we make our concept timeless? How can we make our concept last longer than X, Y, Z years? And it really has to then, come to, again, to the strategic perspective of understanding who your customer is and what can you offer them and how can you make that experience last for longer, at the same time keeping true to the current trends and being able to adjust your menu and your offering accordingly. That was, of course, a big blow for me personally, and I think for the industry as well. We use a lot of foreign immigrant labor, and I think it's that some of the service industry is going to suffer in the years to come. We might see a hike in prices, and I think these dynamics will change if you just think about it from an economic perspective. I think in terms of what businesses can do to kind of circumvent that is to again, take a step back and look at it strategically, understanding who your end customer is. Is that really the right offering? Is that really the right staffing model? Do we need this amount of staff? And kind of do a real revamp of the business plan. And I think that's something that you can do to kind of be ready for should the UK leave the EU, actually. I think it's been great couple of years now being part of this advisory board and getting together with other industry experts and seeing how we can deliver an amazing conference and content that's relevant, that is necessary for people from a networking perspective, from a business perspective. So for me personally, it's just about keeping in touch with the leaders in the community and making sure that every year what we deliver is something that's relevant for the market at that point in time. And I think there are so many experts sitting around the table, and kind of our combined effort in understanding where this industry is going and then what we can offer will really make for a great conference for the years to come. It's kind of a combination with what I said about the Georgian wine, and that's how a lot of other wine producers now around the world who've gone through have always done their wines through the normal fermentation process are now taking the clues from these Eastern European countries that actually did organic wines before everyone else, and are starting to take these techniques and methods and applying that to their own vineyards and doing these biodynamic wines and these organic wines in a different way. And there's like a whole new range now called orange wine, where it actually the color is orange, but it has nothing to do with oranges. It's still from grapes, but they keep the skins in and the seeds in, which all kind of gives it a very different flavor and color. So it's kind of an add-on for the Georgian wine craze that's taken over the world now, and it's really understanding the process, how it's made, and other countries in Eastern Europe who do it in a similar way and applying it to their own vineyards.